knows the sport of MMA more than me? Nobody. I'm telling you guys, no one knows the sport of MMA like me. Because all throughout the week, all throughout fight week, I knew Pena would win that fight. I fucking did videos, pre-fight prediction videos. I said that 60-40 in Amanda's favor in the first round, but as the fight goes longer, in the second round, it's 60-40 in Pena's favor. And I was absolutely correct because Nunes won the first round. The second round was Pena, 10-8. But she finished her in the second round with a choke. No hooks. Gassed her out. Make her work. And I knew that shit was going to happen because Nunes didn't take his fight serious. The weight drain, the Kat Zingano fight, even though that was like 8 years ago, but still. And then she's fought primarily strikers. You guys cannot tell me Felicia Spencer is as much as a good wrestler as Pena. Stop it. Get out of here. Holly Holm doesn't have the grappling to disrupt Amanda's rhythm. She's purely a striker, and Amanda's a very good striker. So Amanda's not going to get tired if you're striking. Purely striking, she's not getting tired. No, it's not going to happen. And then the Valentina fight, everybody thought she lost that fight. But Valentina really needs to incorporate more grappling. But she can't. How is Valentina going to incorporate more grappling? Valentina is not a grappler like that. And Amanda is a lot heavier than Valentina. So I would actually favor Amanda in that fight. Because if Valentina doesn't grapple with Nunes early and make her disrupt her rhythm, make her not strike as much as often, make it go to the ground, make her work, make her try to get back up and all that stuff, then Valentina's just not, she's not gonna win that fight. She can make it a stand-up war, but in a stand-up war, it's gonna be close, and then the judges are gonna rob you again. So, no, you gotta finish the fight, or you gotta make the fight super uncompetitive to where nobody can deny you. But it was undeniable in the second fight, but they still gave it to Nunes. So, I don't know what to say. I think Valentina wins that fight, but she gets robbed again because it's going to be close on the feet if it goes 5 rounds. Of course. So, yeah, whatever. But, interesting stuff. Not really though. Like, I mean, I knew this shit was gonna happen, and then looking at everybody's predictions and everyone saying that Pena is delusional, I'm delusional, and all that bullshit, and then you guys eat your words, and the fight happens, and then she loses the fight and she gets choked out. Like, imagine how much money people lost. A guy bet 380,000 on Nunes. 380,000. 380,000. Should have gave that shit to me. I'll put it on Nunes, and then I'll put it on Pena, and then we can split the check. Obviously, we got to split it 80-20 because I bet on Nunes. I bet on Pena. You wanted to bet on Nunes. But you can, split that check. Split the profit. Bro, imagine you bet 300,000 on Nunes. On Pena, I mean. How much of a return would you get? I knew I should have bet, but I ain't got the money like that. I'm not a rich person. If I had 100 euros lying around, I definitely would have betted on her, but I didn't have it, so. I didn't have it. I didn't fucking have it, man. I wish I should have. I should have bet on it, but I didn't because I didn't have the money. But nobody knows MMA more than me. I know this sport more than you know, man. And if DC fights John Jones again at heavyweight, DC wins that fight at heavyweight. Gonna call me crazy, but DC wins that fight at heavyweight. I know he's never coming back; he's retired. But DC would win at heavyweight because he's a natural heavyweight. When he's fighting at 205, he sucks himself down. But that's besides the point. Now, looking at it, Amanda Nunes, where does she go from here? The Valentina fight doesn't really make any sense. because Juliana Pena is the champion. So what is she gonna do? Because the only way that that fight can happen is if Valentina moves up to 135. But Nunes is not the champ. Why would you want to fight Nunes and she doesn't have a belt? Makes no sense. The only fight really is Juliana Pena and Valentina. That's the fight I really want to see. At 135, I would like to see that fight again. Maybe I would really rather see a Jermaine Durandamy rematch, to be honest. A 5-round Jermaine Durandamy rematch for the first title defense. I think she can beat her. I think she can beat her if she avoids the submission threat and then she only goes to the body lock. Go to the body lock and then go to the single. Go to the body lock takedown, Juliana. Don't go to the double leg. Don't do it. Because there's the threat of the guillotine. Maybe you can go for the double leg later in the fight because when you're slippery, it's a lot harder to get a submission. Because going late in the fight, the fighters are going to get sweaty and then the submissions are less of a danger, less of a threat. But you got to go head on the outside. You can't go head on the inside for a double leg. Don't do it. Because then there's the arm in guillotine or the Darce or multiple submission threats from their position. But there's also, if she goes to the single leg, she has to go head on the outside, not on the inside. Always head on the outside. And then the preferred option would really be the body lock takedown because there's no submission threat from there. Then you can go straight to side control or maybe even straight to mount. Just bouncing off ideas, but I think this is the best way. Go to the body lock. Do not go to the double leg unless you have to. Unless you really have to, don't go to the double leg takedown with Jermaine. Not with Jermaine. Jermaine, dangerous submissions. She's dangerous. Don't go to the double leg. Body lock or single. Preferably body lock. Single second. Double leg is the third. The first option, priority, is the body lock takedown from against the cage. Pressure against the cage. Get the body lock, take her down. But Nunes doesn't want that rematch. She don't want that work. She don't want that work. Because if she fights at 135, she's going to have to suck herself down again. She's going to be eating a lot of food for the Christmas holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, enjoying with her family. She has a beautiful family. And then she has to cut down again to 135 and train hard. She ain't trying to train hard. She ain't trying to train hard like that, though. Like, let's be real. She got a family now. You know, things are changing. And, yeah, I just don't see it. Like, Nunes doesn't beat Pena at 135. Nope. And the 145-pound division is going to get disbanded because there's no one there. There's no challengers. Felicia Spencer retired. Norma Dumont, she's not a challenger. Get the fuck out of here. Norma Dumont, Aspenlad, who else? There's no one else. They're going to disband that. They're going to get rid of the featherweight title, the division. They're going to get rid of the featherweight division. Bantamweight is the only thing. I think they should have more fighters at 145. Build the division up. What's wrong with Dana? Why doesn't he put more fighters in there? Sign more girls to the division. Bring them in. Bring them in. Sign them. Put them in there. But that costs money. Dana's a business guy. You know, he looks at the numbers. If the numbers aren't right, he's not gonna do it. And rightfully so. I wouldn't do it I wouldn't even do it if the numbers weren't right. That's business. That's business. But from a fan standpoint, but that division is weak anyways. Who's there? Felicia retired. Okay, she's gone. Chris Cyborg is in Bellator. Who else? What's that girl's name? Kayla Harrison. She needs to come. But 145 doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. Financially, it doesn't make sense. Business doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. From a financial standpoint, what sense does it make for Dana to make Amanda Nunes fight at 145? It wouldn't make him any money. He's not gonna. I guarantee you, the UFC is gonna get rid of the 145-pound division. I guarantee it. It doesn't make any financial sense. I looked at the rankings just yesterday. There's no one there. It's just Amanda that's the fucking champion. And they still haven't changed the fucking rankings. You better do that real quick. But yeah, I don't see it. And the most intriguing matchups really for me is Jermaine Durandamy and Irene Aldana. I would love to see that fucking fight. That fight would be amazing to me. I would love to see that fight. Like Jermaine Durandamy, Irene Aldana. That fight makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Even financially, it makes a lot of sense because it's a stand-up war. Neither fighter is gonna really go for takedowns because Irene Aldana's game is not revolving around a grappling heavy style, and Jermaine Durandamy has good submissions, but her grappling is not grappling heavy. It's striking heavy. She doesn't like going for it. She doesn't go. When has she ever taken someone down? So clearly, it's gonna be a stand-up war. And who do I favor in that fight? Honestly, I think Irene Aldana has an excellent chance of winning that fight because there's no grappling threat from the Holly Holm fight, but also the threat of the left hook is the only thing that's really dangerous, and the right hand. The most dangerous weapons that Irene Aldana really has is the right hand and the left hook. That's it. 2 weapons. Jermaine Durandamy has more of a full skill set. So I would pick Jermaine Durandamy for that fight, but pretty tough. Okay, moving on. What's the next order of business? Amanda, we've already talked about her. She's not doing anything. I think Valentina stays at 125 and defends her title because she doesn't want to fight Juliana Pena again because she's gonna be like, oh, I already beat her. Why do I have to fight her again? So I think she doesn't want to. I mean, it's not that she's scared. She's just not gonna fight Juliana Pena at 130. It makes sense to me. I think that fight makes sense, but it looks like the UFC is gonna make the Nunes and Pena rematch. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it because does it make financial sense? Because would Pena be the favorite or would Nunes be the favorite for that fight? And then how much would the ticket sales be? And Nunes isn't really a draw like that though. She's really not a draw like that. Nobody really cares about her fights. Like, sorry, but no one cares. The fights we want, I'm gonna tell you right now, the fans want this fight. We want Pena Durandamy. The winner fights Valentina. Nunes can fight somebody else in the rankings. Maybe I don't want to see Holly Holm. No, I don't want to see Holly Holm. No. I don't want to see a Holly Holm rematch. No. Not yet. Maybe Amanda can fight Irene Aldana. That makes a lot of sense. I think Amanda should fight Irene Aldana next for the contender. And then Pena can defend against Jermaine Durandamy. And then the winner fights... Yeah, actually, no. Valentina can wait a little bit. She can fight at 125 to defend her title. And Pena can fight Durandamy. The winner fights the winner of Amanda and Irene Aldana. Or Nunes Pena. But I don't see the point of that. The fight is going to happen. The same thing's going to happen. She needs to build herself up a little bit, become more acclimated to the 135-pound division, get maybe 1 or 2 fights in, or maybe even 1 fight in, so she gets her confidence back, gets a win, and then gets the fight. She doesn't, no, don't fight her. No, don't fight her immediately. There's no point. No, don't do that. No. It doesn't make money sense because she's going to lose again. Well, I'll bet on Pena in the rematch. No, I don't know about that. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. But I would have to see the circumstances around that fight. But in a rematch, who would be the favorite? It depends on the odds, too. If the odds make Pena the fucking favorite, I'm not betting. I'm not even betting on the fight. What's the point? So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Peace.